Welcome to the Successful Team Podcast. My name is Shimon Futima and I'm going to talk about loneliness as a team. I've created this podcast to inspire teens to elevate their lives, make their businesses, and become more happier and proud of who they are and how to be successful in life. We're going to talk about loneliness today. So why is it that teenagers are lonely? This feeling of loneliness, when a couple of years ago, let's say 10, 20 years ago, this feeling wasn't even existent. The first thing I would say is because of the rise of social media, the rise of internet, YouTube, videos. People are spending so much time on their phones instead of socializing in real life. But why is it we get lonely sometimes? We have this feeling of drought, of something pulling our heart outside our chest because we need to socially talk to someone, but there's no one there, and we feel this kind of like dragging emotion, this feeling that someone's dragging you. You have to go and talk to someone or do something, or you're going to feel lonely. Now, the reason we feel loneliness is because in our ancestors, if we were alone and not in a group, there's a 100% chance we would have died. Usually when someone leaves the group, when our ancestors went hunting and they lived in caves and they had to be in groups to survive. The men ran and tried to get food. The women stayed at home and took care of the kids, took care of the food, the clothes, everything. And this is how it worked. If they were going to separate the group, let's say one person is left behind, there's a nearly 100% chance it would have died from no food, from no water, or some kind of animal eating them up. This is why we're lonely. Our bodies had to adapt this feeling that we cannot be alone because we won't survive. And that's the real reason why we feel this awful feeling when we're lonely. We are social creatures. We need to be social creatures. Nobody is not social. The reason we have to be social is to survive, to make friends, and to reproduce. And these are the three reasons why every single person needs to socialize. But if we take that away, we have this loneliness effect where we are dragged and we feel depressed. Now, I'm here to talk about why loneliness is good as a team. You might say, oh, you are a teenager who's lonely. You should take away their gadgets and their social media. And I am 100% with you. Most of the time, teenagers are lonely, sad, and depressed. It's because they see people better than them on social media. But obviously, we cannot completely disengage from social media. We can do a dopamine detox. We can do all these things. But one day or another, we'll be on social media. There will be people better than us. We will live in a world with social media. That's how life works right now. So how can we adapt to it? Why is loneliness even good for you? This is what I'm trying to teach you today. Because experiencing loneliness is the best feeling you can ever feel. Most people push away that feeling straight away. Like, I don't like that feeling. Get away from me. I don't want it. But if you let it in, you start to finally realize who you are. When you start to realize that you don't need anyone but yourself. You start to trust yourself. You start to get to know yourself. You start to understand life. Because when you're not lonely, you will never find that out. Have you ever got that feeling where you're just alone and you figure out things from your life from nowhere, but when you socialize, these ideas don't even come to you? Because your mind is busy with socializing or the internet or the social media. Your mind is busy all the time. And if we push that away, if we become lonely, if we remove social media, you start to realize all those silent thoughts that you removed every single day of your life start to come back. And then you start to think, wow, these ideas are amazing. Why did I not think of that? When did I think of this? It starts to pop in, and ideas come in. And that's when I think our older generations, my father, my grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather, they all had empty minds because they weren't always distracted by social media and phones. And they were lonely. They did not know how to contact each other. When they tried to meet up in one place, they would go to this place and see if anyone's around. If there's no one around, they go home. That's how they socialized. They couldn't just text someone or phone, let's go hang out. No, there's no such thing back then. They had to trust themselves, and if nobody's going to be there, then they just go home. All of this social media, all these distractions, distract your mind from ideas. And loneliness is the worst part, because when you're lonely, people distract themselves on social media, on YouTube, but they don't really feel that loneliness. They don't accept what is happening to their bodies and understand that this is a very bad emotion, but it can be changed to good. We have the ability to live a happy life when no one's around you. But there's one thing, you will never be lonely forever. If you change your mindset, if you say to yourself, I am a great person, I know I'm a great person. When people meet me, they love me, they know me, they want to talk to me. You need to change that mindset. And the only way to change that mindset is going through the phase of loneliness to undiscover and discover all the abilities you didn't know you had. So I'm going to talk about loneliness in my part of my life, because I understand you might be lonely, or you might be on the tip of the iceberg to loneliness. But I'm going to tell you some stories of why I'm actually teaching you guys that loneliness is very good for you. I still remember the first time I came here to Poland. And the second I came to Poland, yes, I had friends in England. Yes, I contacted them, but I did not have that physical social interaction. And because of that, I felt so alone. And this feeling is so depressing. You literally feel that you're dying from the inside if you do not talk to someone, if you don't do anything. Now, just to know, I did not go to school. I did not have any friends here. I did not have anything here. The only thing I had is my parents, my brothers, and my uncles and aunties. All my cousins are younger than me, about 10 years. And to understand that, I had to find myself in this loneliness. I cried a lot. I was in a depressive state. I always was lonely until to this day. I'm still lonely, but I understood that, I accepted it, and that part of my life where I was so crippling, it was the best part of my life I have ever experienced, because I realized who I really was. I understand myself more, and it's really the one time I discovered of who I really was and how amazing I am. After accepting that I'm alone, I started to see some things that I did not see before. I saw that my ego was so high that I've never met no one else higher ego than me. I know I'm the best. I know who I am. I know who I'm supposed to be. And because of all this, I have learned that loneliness is not a bad thing at all. It's all about perspective. Yes, I don't have friends right now. Maybe a few I do. I do have a few friends that I meet on a monthly basis. But to have those friends where they stick with you every single day, where when you're in the fight, they join in, even if they're going to get beaten up, just because of self-respect, they get in and fight with you. Those friends will be found when you get rich, wealthy, successful, fit, handsome. All these things you have to do first to find the friends that are like you. Because that's the end goal. We are looking for friends that are similar or completely the same as us to motivate ourselves and to kind of, as a group, improve. And if I wasn't lonely, I wouldn't have noticed that. I wouldn't have said, oh, the friends I'm with are bad. It's not saying that they're bad. It's just saying that they're not right for me for right now. Just because you're lonely, you have to use your time, right? That's what I just started saying. We need to improve. So just for this episode, I've created a 5-step improvements that you have to do. And I call this PEMPS, P-E-M-P-S, physical, emotional, mental, personal, and spiritual. Now, the physical side is a healthy body, healthy skin, a haircut, clothes you can wear, suits like I do. I love suits right now. And this is the loneliness really showed me that I can wear these things and I can act like a boss. It's usually just your look, how you present yourself in a situation. Then we can go to emotional, how you can control these emotions. And what I would recommend is the book of the Little Book of Stoicism. This book will be in the link, but it shows you on how to start to control your emotions, to see that third view of yourself and understand the situation you are in. Visualize yourself, and are these emotions really important right now, or can they be just left alone, understood, but there are more important things to do? And this book really explains on how to be stoic. When you're tired, when someone annoys you, might be a problem. You need to understand that these situations will happen, and this book will help you to figure that out. Mental, the way you see the world, that everything is positive, how business work, no point in stressing, how human psychology works. All this is mental. Understanding why did this person move their hand in that way? Because every single movement of a hand, every single movement of a person has a meaning behind it. And then you can apply it to business. Why did this business do this and this and this? Why not that? Why can they not make money here? And understand that looking at the world in a positive way will make you positive too. So that's the third thing, mental, which is really important. Personal, your personality, your hobbies, your interests, your skills, and the way you talk to people, how your body language is presented, how do you present yourself? Do you come confidently and talk to someone, or do you shy away? All these things you have to improve on. You have to become that person that your ego is so high that you know you're the boss. You know you're the boss, and you just go and behave like one. You behave like a king. And the last thing I would say is spiritually. Believing in God is really important. But if you don't even believe in God, but believe in yourself is really important. Believe that there's power, that the more you give to this world, the more you get out. That you deserve this power. If you do something, if you don't do anything, you do not deserve it. And you have to believe you are a king or queen, whoever you are. You have to behave that you are the best of the best, and how you can use that as an advantage. So what I'm trying to explain here is that loneliness is a great part of your life to start to understand yourself, to start to understand who you can become and who you are, and how you can change that person you were before. Now, using the time of being lonely, don't spend it on social media, because that will distract you from it, from just a little bit. It will distract you. But if you use that time to use the PEMPS method of improving yourself, you will be so far ahead, you will find the friends you always wanted. Because these 5 things are the most important things you can do right now. Improve the 5 things, PEMPS: physical, emotional, mental, personal, and spiritual. If you improve all these 5 things, you will find friends that are just like you. The things I would avoid while becoming lonely. Thinking that you can make friends, but you don't want to. And this is understandably of the younger generation, younger than mine. They call this the lonely wolf. Apparently, they know how to make friends. They know how to be popular, but they don't because they don't want to. Now, don't fall for this trap. I would advise for those people to even test themselves to talk to one person. If they don't, they're just fake. They cannot control their emotions. They cannot be that a very good person. If you have the confidence to go and talk to a person, you can do anything. Focus on what you already know. Enjoy life, be proud of yourself, and don't force making friends. If you use the PEMPS method, friends will find you. Thank you for listening to my podcast today about loneliness as a teen. I'll see you in the next episode.